versus Ashley Treat.
That's about 6 people.
And Laura Yaki, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Ms. Three, who's approaching. Ms. Three, could you say your name for the court?
Bachelor 3.
So, Your Honor, within the last couple days, Ms. Three has sought an assessment for treatment. She completed the assessment. I have the paperwork here. I have the letter here. Based on the assessment, she's been recommended to participate in the intensive outpatient program through Henry Ford Health. Again, I have this documentation here. She is scheduled to attend individual treatment on the 2 days that she's not doing her intensive outpatient program, which is scheduled for 3 days per week. Additionally, Ms. Fleet is doing meetings every single day as a part of her recovery. I would ask, Your Honor, obviously the bond violation is very concerning, is very serious.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'll listen to everything, but
I would ask if the court would consider converting her SoberLink to a Scram tether to ensure that she's getting 24/7 supervision, monitoring.
All right, guys. Today's courtroom story wasn't just another routine hearing. This one carried tension, emotion, and a decision that would leave the entire courtroom speechless. As the defendant slowly approached the bench, every eye in that courtroom locked onto her every movement. Her defense attorney stepped forward, armed with documents, assessments, and what seemed like a carefully crafted recovery plan. According to the paperwork, she had recently completed a professional treatment assessment. Doctors recommended an intensive outpatient recovery program, 3 days every single week. On the remaining days, she was scheduled for one-on-one therapy sessions. And if that wasn't enough, she was reportedly attending recovery meetings every single day. At first glance, it sounded like someone desperately trying to rebuild her life. But what nobody realized was that this hearing was about to take a dark and explosive turn.
To ensure she's not drinking.
Jackie, you do realize that not only did she blow numbers, but then decided to have someone else blow into the machine for her.
Yes, Your Honor. There's no minimizing. There's no excuse or justification. The only thing I can do is present our plan moving forward, which the therapist has a psychiatrist. She does have mental health diagnoses. So she does need medication. She has her psychiatrist she's working with. She has her therapist she's working with. It took her a minute to find the right treatment to address the needs that she has. She is a single parent of 2 kids. They do rely on her tremendously. One is 3, one is 13, I believe. And
So even worse, she had a 13-year-old blow into the machine?
Well,
I didn't ask her to. He's free.
Oh, whoa. Is that what happened?
I didn't.
Be careful how you answer it. I don't know that there's a good answer, but you better be careful how you answer it.
Then suddenly, the judge leaned forward, and the energy inside that courtroom changed instantly. Her voice became sharper, colder, more direct than anyone expected. Because this wasn't just about treatment anymore. This was about betrayal. The judge revealed that the defendant hadn't simply failed a sobriety test. She allegedly tried to beat the system. Not once, not twice, but in a way that shocked everyone present. According to the violation report, after drinking alcohol, someone else was asked to blow into the monitoring device. For a moment, the courtroom fell completely silent. Even the defense attorney seemed caught off guard by what was coming next. And then, the judge asked one devastating question that changed everything.
Because I don't know which is worse. You telling me that, yes, is that what I did, or you lying to me?
At this time, Your Honor, I'm asking if the court would convert her to a scram tether and mandate that
She drank and then had a child blow into the sober lane.
I understand that's what the violation report says, Your Honor. And
Does she admit to that violation or not? I mean, if she wants a hearing, we'll have a hearing.
I understand. May I have a moment to verify with her, Your Honor?
Yep.
Your Honor, may we briefly approach?
I don't know what good it's going to do, but you can come on. Record should reflect we've had a bench conference in this case. Just want to say, Michelle.
The only other thing I wanted to request that I forgot to mention at the bench conference is if the court is inclined to revoke her bond, I would ask if there's any chance the court would allow her to be released to an inpatient treatment program with the tether, as clearly the root cause of both the underlying case as well as the bond is an issue of substance use. Again, she has dealt with enormous.
Was it your child? The judge asked, and suddenly the entire room froze. No one moved. No one spoke. Even the air felt heavy. The attorney hesitated, choosing every word with extreme caution, because there was no easy answer, and everyone knew it. If it was true, this wasn't just a bond violation anymore. This was a decision that dragged an innocent child into a dangerous adult situation. The judge's expression hardened with every passing second. She made it crystal clear. Lies would only make this worse. And at that moment, the defendant's future began slipping away right in front of everyone.
Trauma. She's a survivor of domestic violence. She left an abusive relationship where her ex was convicted. And I think in November or shortly before December, which is the alleged defense date here. So there's a lot of circumstances surrounding here. Understandable that the court and the people are concerned for the community, but I would ask that this not be a case just held in jail without the opportunity to get inpatient treatment.
Ms. Feltes.
Your Honor, the people at this time would request the court revoke the defendant's bond and do not grant her a release to treatment. The underlying offense in this case is an operating while intoxicated third offense. Her priors are from 2011 and 2016. In this case, there was more than one call to the police reporting the defendant's bad driving behavior. She was eventually located by Michigan State Police troopers' crash. And when they had contact with her, she admitted to drinking. Eventually, a search warrant was obtained for her blood, and she was found to have a blood alcohol content, of 0.258. She was incredibly intoxicating, putting the community at risk, and is now drinking on bond. And as the court correctly pointed out, having a 13-year-old child flow into that sober link. I do not think she is in a position where she's capable of making good decisions. And I do not think that she is a risk the community can tolerate. I'm asking both the bond, hold her without bond, deny her a release.
Desperate to save her client, the defense launched one final emotional plea. She spoke of trauma, addiction, mental health struggles, and years of surviving abuse. She described a mother raising 2 children alone, fighting battles nobody could see. She begged the court for treatment instead of jail. She requested strict monitoring, 24-hour supervision, and inpatient recovery. For a brief second, it almost sounded convincing. It almost felt like the courtroom might show mercy. But across the room, the prosecution was already preparing to destroy that argument. And what came next hit harder than anyone expected.
Anything else, Ms. Carter?
Your Honor, the only other thing I would say is I do think it would be adequate to protect the community if she's not driving, if she has a scram, if she's in treatment. Especially if she can't leave.
I can't trust her. I'm just going to be upfront. It is going to be very hard for me to trust somebody that this court releases on a sober link, can't comply with the sober link, drinks, and then to try to save herself because she knows she has to do the confirmation below. She puts a child to do that. Incredible. I will adjourn our probable cause conference May 14th, 2026, 9 a.m. I'll also adjourn, since there's no admission or anything regarding the bond violation. I'll adjourn the bond violation hearing to also that date. At this point in time, the defendant's bond is revoked. Defendant's remanded to the Washtenaw County Jail. Court calls the case.
The prosecutor stood up, calm, focused, and absolutely relentless. She reminded the court that this wasn't a simple mistake. This was a pattern of dangerous choices. Police reports described reckless driving, emergency calls, and a crash that could have ended lives. When officers found the defendant, her blood alcohol level was shockingly high. And now, while already out on bond, she was accused of drinking again. But what truly shook the courtroom was involving a child to hide the violation. The judge paused, looked directly at the defendant, and delivered words nobody would forget. "I cannot trust you." Seconds later, bond revoked, custody ordered, and just like that, her freedom disappeared.